tatta dhim tatakita dhim tadim tattam.
Hello everyone. Today I want to share with you a practice which I'm really hoping will help you in these times of fear and uncertainty and ambiguity. I'm sharing this with you today because I have heard from many women in my classes that they are finding the energy of these times really difficult, that there is a deep dissonance between what they as women feel as their intuition and their sensations and with what is going on outside. Of course, this dissonance has always been there for thousands of years because we live in a patriarchy, and the story of women's intuition, our deep feelings of who we are, has never really been reflected in this system. But now that there is a lot of chaos in this way of living, and I think there's also a sense of trying to, even harder than before, to prove that patriarchy is right or the system is right, and this possibly accounts for that intensity of dissonance. Of course, there's also a lot of fear for everybody. There's a lot of fear and chaos, and this goddess practice is actually really relevant to these times, because uncertainty, in being in the unknown to the mind, uncertainty, mystery, is at the heart of the goddess practice. And the invitation of the goddess practice is to move, how to navigate uncertainty, and also through that, how you find an intelligence that emerges from that matching or moving in it. So the practice I'm going to share with you today is the practice of Bhairava, which is an ancient deity. It's an ancient form of Shiva. And what this practice is about fear, fearsomeness, or terror and terrifying. So it's about that movement from fear to being fearsome. There is an energy in that fluidity, or being in terror but terrifying. Think of a beast, and that's actually how we're going to begin. Think of a beast in a jungle that's being hunted, a big cat, for example. And when it is hunted, it is in terror, of course, for its life, but it is also at its most terrifying in that moment. So this rasa of Bhairava, it is a bit different to how we story fear, because in the goddess practice, a simple feeling opens up into a constellation in the practice. And that is how we find spaciousness, movement, connection, and expansion in whatever we are feeling. We're not asked to reject it or move away from it. So let's start the practice, because everything in the goddess is about the practice and the body. So the first thing, let's start with bringing out that beast in the jungle. So grounded, the cornered beast, kicking the sand, moving in to attack, retreating. Bring that terror into your eyes, and how can you be your most terrifying? Think of the hunted beast. Advance, coming in, retreating, hurtling yourself, and retreating. And from here, going into the other attributes here. Stunned. And the beast again. Stunned. Bring the stunned into your eyes, widening the eyes, as if the eyes can fall out of their sockets. You can start dropping the story of the beast and just sitting with that stunned. And dazed. So we go with the weight, dazed. You wrap the leg behind you and the eyes, you haven't put a full stop from the stunned into the stunned, the eyes wide, dazed. So don't act it from the top. You want to feel it in your lower body, in the weight, dazed. So bring that instability into your weight, and you'll see that in that instability there is a momentum there. There's a momentum there. Dazed. And again. So we don't need to go into the beast now. Drop the story of the beast into that feeling in the lower body, hurtling. Bring it into the eyes. Connect with the sensation, bringing it into the eyes, hurtling, and stunned. Into the stunned, you bring the dazed. Let your breath move into the sensation. Breathe. It's not passive weight. Because you're connected with your weight and its movement. There's a momentum there. And the next attribute is in Sanskrit called Apasmara, which means as if you don't know anything, as if you've forgotten who you are, as if everything that you knew, everything's gone. Everything is gone. So, Apasmara. Just scattered. So remember, we're building on the dazed, we're building on the stunned. So now we're going to drop all story, and it's just movements. With the eyes, just movements. Just movements. Connect with the movement as if there is no meaning, there's no story. How do these movements become deity? Become Bhairava? What's the energy of the movement? What's the momentum? What's the power in these movements? Dropping the story. Come more into the power of the movement, into the Bhairava of that sensation, What is the power of being able to give in to the momentum of instability. And we finish with the basic Bhairava stance, which is simply, it's called Samapadha, simply with the feet together, arms at the side. Hold that sensation in your eyes, in your breath. Your legs are completely soft. There's no resistance, no muscularity. You're just breathing, embodying, manifesting the power that the sensation, the power that's there in the sensation. And when you finish, take a deep breath and move, open the feet a little bit in a V shape and moving just down as if your lower body is a pot. Now, those who've been watching these videos will know that I do have a pot practice, which is a practice of how you can consider your lower body as a pot. I'll put a link to that if you want to check it out. Here we are in dropping our weight into the lower body. All our attention is here. Just breathe. We don't need to think. We don't need to find a story. We don't need to have anything in our minds. Just being with that sensation. Breathing. And when you feel like you've fulfilled that time you need with the sensation, but do give yourself some time with that sensation to infuse you, for your attention, your awareness and your consciousness to really connect. Your mind, very importantly, to connect with that sensation, to drench your mind with that sensation. And then you can come out of it. So I hope that this practice will help you at the times when you're feeling like you're overwhelmed by fear or chaos or the uncertainty. This is Bhairava. Bhairava is a deity, is a energy, is a consciousness that is always very protective. So that's why we can't put linear stories to this. So in this practice, this particular sensation, the Bhairava, is actually a very protective sensation. It protects people that are practicing it. So I hope that this will bring you some protection and some way of moving in these times of uncertainty and chaos. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope that I will have the pleasure of your company again on this channel.